Well, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. First and foremost, sorry for my absence. I have had a lot that's going on. You'll notice that the backdrop is different. I have moved house, become a father, so it's been a very busy time recently, and I do apologise for obviously my absence on the platform overall, and I'll address that in another video coming up shortly. But I wanted to bring back a series that's close to my heart. I've played Football Manager for many years now, on and off, either online saves with my pals, or of course, just playing it on my own. We're bringing back the Rags to Riches playthrough today. What we're going to do is we're going to decide obviously what team we're going to be, but with a bit of a twist. We're not actually going to pick our team. We're going to start in the National League South or the National League North, depending on who we get on the random spinner momentarily. So I've loaded all of the teams in across both leagues, and we are going to decide who we're going to start with in this Rags to Riches playthrough. As you can see on the screen, we've got all of the 48 teams across the National League South and National League North. We're going to spin and we're going to see exactly who comes up and where we're going to start our journey on this brand new series that we're starting here on the channel. We are going to be starting with Oxford City. I think they're in the relegation zone when I was creating the spinner, so it'll be a good first challenge in this brand new series. And there we go, just like that. And the magic of editing, we have been appointed manager of Oxford City. We're going to go and see how far we can obviously take them. Now, a couple of ground rules for the series. Realistically, we are going to put our manager in the forefront of our decision. What I mean by that, if, and we may be getting ahead of ourselves here, if we get headhunted by another team and they are offering us more money, realistically, in a managerial progression, you are going to take that, right? If there's more money on the table, better prospects with that job, you're going to take it. How the videos are going to play out, we're not going to sit there and go through every game or every other game like we've done before. I'm just going to pinpoint a few key games over the season just to sort of not keep a season too long. Without any further ado, let's get into the club. Let's obviously introduce ourselves to the squad and let's see exactly what we're playing with. Looks like in terms of their history, their highest ever finish was in the league just above us, in the Enterprise National League, where they finished 24th not too long ago as well, and obviously got relegated down into the Enterprise National North League. As we can see, we play in the M Group Stadium. Capacity of about 3,100. Not bad for non-league football, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm underestimating the size of the grounds in the league, but maybe it's something that you can let me know in the comments section below. But worrying we don't have any transfer, any wage budget, but I suppose it is non-league, so it is typical as to a non-league setup of what we've got. Let's have a look at what the expectations are. So they want us to finish mid-table. We're on £725 a week, so not a shabby starting contract, if you ask me. We need to work within our wage budget, grow the club's reputation, and as I said, finish mid-table. We're going to have a look in terms of the squad. I want to have a look at that before I sort of get an idea of sort of what we could play in terms of a formation. It's all well and good setting a formation, right, when you take over any new team. But of course, if you haven't got the players to fill them positions, you're already going to be leaving it either weak by playing someone out of position, or of course a little bit lackluster if you haven't got the players that you want. I'm noticing we've got good coverage at the back. We've got a few DM options. We've only got really one attacking midfielder that can play central, which is Zach McEffron. And we've got okay wing choices, and we've got 4 strikers. For me, I think I'm probably going to be looking at a 4-2-3-1, making the most of having them 2 DMs. But of course, we may obviously pick this. It may not work in this league. We may need to tinker with it. And that's where it's going to come down to having a look at the players and seeing obviously what specifically they excel in. Okay, so this is what we're going with, and this is what I've sort of picked and decided. So we're going for a 4-2-3-1 in possession, as we said. And when we're out of position, we're just dropping that little bit more into a 4-3-3. We're going to just have McEffron drop from his centre attacking midfield role into midfield, as we can see here. But the rest of the team is quite self-explanatory in terms of positions and style. If you want me to go through a more tactical video and go through individual specifics, obviously, by all means, let me know in the comment section below if you want me to do that. One thing I will say is I can see from strengthening position, I think really that DM role could do with someone probably slightly better than Ashby. And of course, goalkeeper. We've got a goalkeeper on loan, probably somewhere we can look to strengthen. Hopefully we can bring in like a free agent or another loan. Just to give you all an idea of the finances, I mean, it's not great viewing, is it? We've got £7,000 in the bank. Realistically, we need a cut run. We are using 100% of our budget in terms of wages at the moment as well. So there's probably going to be some players, if they're on high wages, that aren't really fitting our first team right now, that we're going to get rid of. That money can probably get us maybe one or two players that may have a little bit more potential, but a cup run is going to be very important. Improve them overall finances, especially if we want to move our career on as well. Bear in mind how we've started our career. We have no coaching qualifications. We've started at the bottom of true rags to riches, no past playing experiences, no previous roles within football, and no coaching badges. So realistically, they've picked us up off the street. Pre-season is over. We're here at the first game of the season. We are playing AFC Flyed. We have had a pretty decent pre-season, if I must say. Sutton United and Exeter, both in the leagues above us, and we lost them. 3-0 wasn't great. Lost 1-0 to Exeter, which is a great performance in my opinion. We won 9-0 then in our other friendly against Leighton. Harborough, we won 5-1, and Torquay United, we won 2-0. Now, Torquay United is probably the most important one there because they are in Enterprise South, so they are in the equivalent league to what we are in the Enterprise North, and we beat them 2-0. So, could be reading a little bit too much into that, or not enough, potentially. We are dibbed for relegation by the media. I think that's a little bit harsh. We haven't really made too many changes. We've brought in one player, and that was a goalkeeper, as we said. We've brought in Ollie Camis, a 3-star goalkeeper with 5-star ability, or potential ability, sorry, shall I say. So hopefully can develop, obviously, as time goes on. We're going to go straight to the match without any further ado. This is the lineup. So we've got Camis in goal, Wilson, Johnson, Francis and McGrath in defence, Humphrey and Ashley in holding midfield, and then we've got Björn, McEphraim and Clark in the attacking, advanced attacking midfield roles. And then, of course, we've got Weston Diouf up front with the way that we perform in this first game. It doesn't really tell us much, if I'm honest. Reason why is because, of course, first game of the season, anything can happen. So it's not really going to set too much of a precedent. We are going to put in some player instructions. I do like to put these in. Simply press the wide players, and I like to press the midfield. I don't like to give them too much time with them two CDMs. They're kind of matching us like for like in the 4-2-3-1, not to give them much time on the ball. So we're going to say to the boys that nobody's expecting us to win. I don't think that. I think we've had a good pre-season. Maybe that we just know that we're underdogs and we're going to go out there and give the fans a performance to cheer on. I'm also going to just say that I've got faith in all of the players. I really want them to be buying into this formation and into the system. Let them know that we are there. We're a shoulder that they can cry on, or of course celebrate with in the eventuality of us winning. Fingers crossed. I've jinxed it now. Go straight into kickoff, and hopefully we can pick up the first 3 points of the season. Now, I will sort of change the highlights speed potentially, so we'll see how we get going with this. I must say, the Oxford City kit, the bright green away kit, is very nice. You don't usually see a bright green away kit. Close there from Westendorf. We really want him to be performing. Get absolutely battered on possession, but it's only 5 minutes in. And this formation, remember, we are going to sacrifice some possession. We're not really going to be holding the ball ticky-tacky kind of style. We're going to invite them in and hopefully then hit them on the counter-attack. And that's where the wingers are so important in this formation and this system, that they are on song. Because if they're not on song, we're not really going to be able to get that out ball that we need. And here we go. Westerhoff has come slightly wide. Is he going to put it in the box? Back to Wilson. Wilson into Humphreys. Back to Wilson. Ashby. Long shot. Just over the bar. We'll take that as the first highlight of the game, you know. Just finding our feet gives us a tiny bit of XG. I mean, our XG is better than theirs. They've not had a single shot on target yet. You watch, curse of the commentator now, we've got a highlight. Ball, long ball over the top. Johnson does well to deal with it. Westerhoff into Clark. Clark into McGrath. Clark taking on his man. Oh, cuts inside. Lovely bit of play. Humphreys. McEphraim. Clark. Oh, top corner! Come on! First goal of the series, and may I say, a beautiful first goal at that. Absolutely curled that in beautifully. Lovely build-up play, but Clark carries on his run, which is obviously what we've told him to do. We've not told him to shoot as much, though, but maybe with a goal like that, we'll change our opinion and we'll get him to shoot more often. But an absolutely fantastic start for Oxford. We are going to praise the boys. Just, good job. Keep it up. 22 minutes in. Let's stay focused. The focused one's a little bit annoying because it kind of always has a negative impact on the players. And I'm not really sure why. I want to tell them, look, guys, we're 1-0 up. Great start. Let's keep it solid. Let's keep it solid at the back. Let's keep that transitions going up front. A praise will do for the time being. As you can see, we are hemorrhaging possession, but like we said, it's all part of the ploy. We don't necessarily need to worry about possession if we're scoring goals, right? At the end of the day, we score goals, we're going to win matches. We score and don't concede, then we'll be all right. First league game away from home as well, so never too good going away from home on the first league game. We really want them fans behind us to give us that extra little bit of push, but going in at half-time at 1-0, we cannot complain. I'm going to go, things are going well, but I know you're capable of even better. Absolutely no reaction, and none of them seem to be interested, which is great. I mean, in the pre-season friendlies, they were absolutely loving everything that we were saying. But hey, first game nerves, maybe let's put it down to for the players. Again, we're still at 30% possession. We are going to now throw out another praise just to keep them, keep them knowing that we're enjoying what they're doing. We're happy with the work that they're doing. I mean, if it goes to 1-1, then we won't be happy with the work that they're doing. But we'll keep an eye on fitness. I have been able to rotate the squad quite well in pre-season. We got some other trialists in as well, just to sort of lessen the burden. We had 5 pre-season friendlies. Most of them are on full match fitness, which is good. I was keen to obviously get as much minutes into the core starting 11, making subs at sort of 60, 75 minutes. We'll probably let this play out to about 70 minutes and then we'll look to maybe make a sub or two. So let's have a look. What can we change? We've got a couple of tired players. I don't really want to take any of the strikers off or the attacking players. We'll take Ashby off for Scott. We'll bring on some fresh legs in that centre midfield. And we'll bring Ruddy on as well at left back. And hopefully that will just give it a little bit more solidity at the back. 2 fresh legs. Well, 4 fresh legs in theory, but 2 fresh players out there. And we're going to just... we might just tell them to focus now. Watch this all go plummeting. There you go. Let's see. It all goes to negative. Struggling to meet the match pace. Overwhelmed by the feedback. We're just telling you to keep it solid. That's all we're doing. Get rid of that. Lovely. Clark, the absolute match hero at the moment. Westendorf, here's the counter-attack. This is what we want. This is what we're playing for. Had a much more simple option, just passing it and squaring it into the CAM there. But hey, he's trying to build up his confidence. He didn't score much in pre-season. We'll let him off. We'll let him off that one time. Let's just hold on to this now. Let's not get silly. We're going to go instructions and we're going to time waste more often. And we're just going to bring the tempo down ever so slightly. We just want to frustrate. Oh, there we go. And that was the highlight. So we can't complain. A 1-0 win on the first game of the season. Look, it could have been more, but we'll take the 3 points and we'll solidify them 3 points. That was really special. No one gave us a chance, but you paid magnificently. Congratulations. I feel like that's a little bit too much out there, wasn't it? We didn't play as well, but I'm happy with the result. I feel like, yeah, I'm going to go with that. Because we can do better. We've been absolutely spanking teams in pre-season. So it's not the greatest result, but not a bad result. Let's not get forgetting. We are due to be relegated, or we're odds on, to be relegated with the media. And we're currently proving that all wrong. What I'll probably do is bring it forward to maybe the Kidderminster game. So just to bring it back ever so slightly early, the season preview, AFC Florida were actually dibbed to win the league. So they were dibbed to go up as champions, one of the best squads in the division, according to the media. So we'll take that. We were down in 23rd. So we're 201 to win the title. Oxford City fans have put a pound or two on us to win. I mean, you can't read too much into it. It's one result. But to go out there and beat the team that are dibbed to win the league, I think we've done obviously quite well in terms of getting a result and grinding out a result there. Okay, so we are back for the Kidderminster game. we managed to just scrape out a win against Macclesfield. To be honest, went in 1-0 down at half-time. Obviously, the half-time team talk worked, right? Because we scored in the 46th, the 49th, and the 52nd minute. Zach McEphraim showing his pedigree and showing exactly why he is so good. That will be a player, if he carries on them types of performance, that we need to keep an eye on, and obviously make sure we either lock down to a contract or just at least keep for the rest of the season, because he is going to be one of them players that is either going to make or potentially break our season. But we're here with the Kidderminster game. Same lineup. We're not making any real changes. We've brought in Ruddy to come in at a left back. Ruddy seems to have been a little bit higher performance in terms of the last couple of games, or the last game at least. Other than that, no changes to the starting 11. So we're going with the exact same 11 that we saw in the first game. We have got obviously some depth on the bench that we can bring on should obviously they start to tire a little bit into the game, especially obviously with regards to Francis or even Clark. But without further ado, let's get into the game. Oof, I don't like that. A flat back 7 basically when you're in possession. That's disgusting. No, they drew their last game, sorry. So they lost and then drew. But again, we're going to go for our usual. We're going to absolutely press and overload their midfield. We're always going to be underdogs, I think, until the media starts to actually put us into a bit more of a good light. So I'm just going to go out there, and the pundits might not believe in us today, but the fans do. So let's go out and do a good performance and do them proud. The usual, we've got faith in the players. Again, we want them to know that I'm here to help them. We want them to be putting in their performances. The more they buy into us as their manager, and the more they buy into the system, the better the results and the fixtures will be. You know, we are going to lose some games, of course we are, but if we lose in a good style or a good manner, then again, I'm happy with that. Not so much happy with that, but at least we picked up the loose ball. Ball right over the top to Clark. He was never going to get there, but at least we're trying to go for that ball in behind, and obviously that direct counter-attack style of football. I'm pretty sure we're playing Kidderminster, not Harrogate. I guess that's just what their breakdown is. And never mind, we're 1-0 down straight away. Yeah, Kidderminster Harriers. That's why, so it's got Harrier there instead of Kidder. I guess Kid wouldn't be great, would it, as an abbreviation? But Kidderminster, we're 1-0 down. Not the greatest start, considering it's 1 minute in, but look, plenty of football ahead of us. I'd rather go 1-0 down in the first minute than in the 90th minute. You know, we've got time to get this back now. Not with balls like that, we're not going to, but maybe we need to address that. They're in behind. It could be too... Luckily, I was going to say he hasn't got his shooting boots on, but I'm pretty sure he's already scored once. He has. So luckily for us, he's missed that opportunity there. Goal highlight from a goal kick from them. They're playing it out wide. This is the pressing. We want to just keep pressing them. We don't mind them having time here. That's absolutely fine. The centre-backs can have some time, but when it gets into this area, we want to be pressing them. Another ball in over the top. We might have to address that defensive line and maybe drop that back a little bit deeper if that carries on happening like that. We're going to give them a little bit of encouragement. So far, we've not had a single shot on or off target. We've got XG of 0.00 and only 22% possession. But look, we accepted that we wouldn't have much possession. But it's what we do with the possession when we've got it, right? And at the minute, we're doing nothing. I know we're only 13 minutes in, but still. We want to be doing a little bit more than we are doing right now. And again, I said about the green kit, I would actually say it's more of a lime kit than green, but it's very nice either way. That's not a penalty. That's a dive if you ask me, but we're not going to have VAR in this league. World's smallest penalty taker stepping up. Is Camis going to show why we signed him? No. No, he's not. 2-0 down against Kidderminster, 14 minutes played. Not ideal to say the least. There's not much we can change here. Maybe change that to a standard type of passing. We are actually going to whip these crosses in as well and go low crosses. I feel like we need to give Western Duif the best chance of scoring at least. We've got a shot on target at least now, boys and girls. So that's something. We've got one shot on target, so the travelling Oxford City fans they've seen something at least. They've made the goalkeeper work. To be honest, whenever you come up against a flat back 7, you're going to have a bit of magic to be able to break it down, aren't you? And that's not what we've got at the moment. We're going to encourage the boys again. Just one before the break I'd be happy with, you know what I mean? Bring it back to 2-1 before we go in at half-time would be fantastic. But probably not going to do that now that I've said it. No, so we go in at the break 2-0 down. It was a bad performance. I'm disappointed. I'm not going to say about the possession because we're fine with that. I'm disappointed with the quality of our passing. We need to be doing better in the second half. We can look to make some changes, but realistically, the best 11 is out there on the pitch. There isn't any better players on the bench. So if anything, we'll just be bringing them on for fresh legs and maybe try to change it ever so slightly. All they seem to be doing when we see a highlight of Kidderminster is just pass it around the back and between the three centre-backs. Maybe we'll put a bit more pressure onto them. Westendorf into Humphreys. McEphram, he's having a quiet game so far, but a lovely ball for Wilson. Squares it. Clark just blocked there. That was a guaranteed goal if the defender didn't get his leg in the way, obviously, because he didn't score. But that's the type of balls that we want to be making. Hit them on the counter. We're getting a little bit more possession now. We're getting a couple more highlights, which is good. We're finding our way into the match. Don't take them a whole half. You're not done nothing, but at least go down and try and win a penalty, you know. Fool the goalkeeper. Fool the referee. Ashby into Clark. Westendorf, McEphram. Nice ball. Go and finish it. Come on, Isaac. 2-1. We're back in it. We're a second half team, boys and girls. We are a second half team. We're going to encourage them again. Keep that momentum up now. Again, we're hemorrhaging possession. But hey, we'll take the possession loss if we can ground out some results. We can get it back to 2-2 now. We might even get the title of comeback merchants if we can somehow turn this around, especially after that last game as well. We were winning 1-0 down at half time. 71 minutes played. Is there much we can change? I don't even think there's much here that we can change. That's not good, that both our centre-backs are apprehensive. Let's bring on Burrows, into the field. Hopefully he can bring in a little bit extra. I mean, he's not having a great game. Let's bring on Campton Sturridge. Maybe if he scores, he can do the old Sturridge dance. Hopefully. Who knows? Let's get him on the old pitch. Let's see what he can do. If he actually scores now, we're gonna leap out of our seats and do the dance. 85 minutes played. Let's just go. We'll go attacking for the last 5 minutes. If we lose 3-1 or draw 2-2, you know. Let's encourage them again. 3 minutes of added time. Can we snatch an equaliser? Oh, well, they've got a corner in the last minute of the game, so I'm guessing we're not snatching an equaliser. Let's not go down 3-1, though. They're just going to waste a bit of time by the looks of it, Kidderminster. Oh, Jesus, that took a deflection off the centre-back and luckily was saved by the keeper. Still switched on last minute of the game, I like that. 2-1, I mean, it is what it is. Look at the match momentum there. We was absolutely obliterated in the match momentum. Yeah, I mean, maybe we might have to sort of tweak it ever so slightly. I'm proud of the efforts today. It just wasn't meant to be. But that's everything that we've got in this first episode. So I hope you've enjoyed our start to Oxford City. I hope you're obviously going to enjoy the run. If you're new around here, please obviously do hit that subscribe button. It helps massively. Like the video as well, because it does help with the algorithm. And leave a comment down below where you think we might end up in terms of obviously the league this season. But thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely rest of your day or evening, whenever time you're watching this. And I'll see you in the next one.